James Boost at Badass Madison. Welcome to another episode of Papi Patriarch's podcast. Not to brag or boast, but I am your host, Zeus Z. Alright, 4th of July was almost about 2 weeks ago, so I had to do an episode that is inspired by the day the USA was born, basically, right? So, USA. All right, look, I felt kind of stupid because about 2 weeks before the 4th, I was in the midst of writing, and it kind of hit me that, like, wait a minute, I need to do a holiday special for Independence Day, right? And I was like, yeah, it should be on the Founding Fathers. I mean, that's just perfect. It's perfect, right? And yeah, so I didn't really realize how much I had forgotten about the American Revolution, about Independence Day, about the Founding Fathers. So since I don't like to put out misinformation and I don't like to half-ass my work, I just hit them books. You know, I got to researching and studying, and then I had to do the whole rewrite and everything. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, but hey, after doing the whole refresher, going over the history again, you know, I present to you, hey, episode 3. Oh, sorry. So yeah, after doing all the rewriting, researching, and all that good stuff, I present to you episode 3, Founding Fathers. All right, let's just jump right into it. So first thing, let's get ourselves acquainted with what happened on that honorary day. Reading from the Library of Congress, on July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress unanimously adopted the Declaration of Independence, announcing the colony's separation from Britain. Philadelphians marked the first anniversary of American independence with a spontaneous celebration, which is described in a letter by John Adams to his daughter Abigail. However, observing Independence Day only became a commonplace after the War of 1812. In 1859, the Banneker Institute of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, urged African Americans to celebrate Independence Day while bearing witness to the inconsistencies between the ideals espoused in the Declaration of Independence and the practice of slavery. By the 1870s, the 4th of July was the most important secular holiday on the calendar. All right. And then it wasn't until, Congress passed a law making Independence Day a federal holiday on June 28th, 1870. All right. So now that we went over that, let's move on to the main topic, the Founding Fathers themselves, right? So now there were a total of 56 people who signed the Declaration of Independence. However, the 7 most notable are called the Founding Fathers. So first one up here, we have George Washington. Went from chopping down trees to chopping up some redcoats, right? All right, so born 1732 in Pope's Creek, Virginia, and died on December 14th, 1799. He was the first president of the United States and served in that position for 8 years, or 2 terms, from 1789 to 1797. He fought in 3 wars: the French and Indian War, the American Revolutionary War, and the Quasi-War with France. He, as far as a father goes, pretty much, he was a stepdad to 9 children. However, he wouldn't father any children of his own. And this is a little fun fact. So John Hanson was the first president of Congress, and some see him as the real first president. However, the title president of Congress is a world apart from the position that George Washington would have when elected under the U.S. Constitution about 8 years later. And because basically it's called the commander-in-chief. So he had way more, when George Washington became president, he had way more responsibilities and things that he had to take care of, more functions that he had to take care of than the president of Congress that came before him. So yeah, big difference in duties, basically. Quote from George Washington: "It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one." I like that one. Numero dos, Thomas Baby Daddy Jefferson. All right. Primary author of the Declaration of Independence, first U.S. Secretary of State, second Vice President, and eventually became the third President of the U.S. from 1801 to 1809. He was born April 13th, 1743, and died July 4th, 1826. So he had a total of 10 children. 6 of his kids he had were with his enslaved maid, Sally Hemings, who he referred to as Maria's maid. Only 4 of his kids would make it to adulthood, and to his credit, he did make sure all of his kids were well educated and were taught useful skills they could use later on in life. All right, quote from Thomas Jefferson. Jesus. "Nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude." I love that quote. I really do. I think that's very true. Tres is the best. Number 3, John Stacy Adams. His middle name is not Stacy, but he was out there looking fly though. Right? So the second president of the U.S. was born on October 30th, 1735, and died July 4th, 1826. He was an attorney, diplomat, statesman, and writer. His son, John Quincy Adams, became the 6th president, and they were the only 2 of the first 12 presidents that didn't own slaves. So John Adams was a strong advocate for American independence and would sign the Treaty of Paris in 1783 along with John Jay, Benjamin Franklin, and Henry Lawrence. This would mark the end of the American Revolution along with our independence to Britain. Along with gaining our independence to Britain, we gained a significant amount of territory heading west of the original 13 colonies. So we got a good quote here from John Adams: "Always stand on principle, even if you stand alone." Real OG shit right there. Real OG shit. Always stand on principle, even if you stand alone. I love that. Integrity, people, integrity. Hit the floor, it's number 4. Benjamin Lightning never strikes in the same place twice. Franklin. The man was known for keeping it 100, so they put his face on one. Benjamin Franklin, born January 1706 in Boston, was a man of business, literature, and science. He was known as the harmonious human multitude. Proof of this is, so check this out, 20,000 people were reported to have attended his funeral. During his life, he ran a lucrative printing press business and created inventions like swim fins, the Franklin stove, the glass harmonica, and bifocals. The most notable are his experiments with electricity, which garnered him international recognition and fame. Before his passing on April 17th, 1790, in his late 70s, he became president of the Executive Council of Pennsylvania, also serving as a delegate to the Constitutional Convention, and one of the last things he would do is write an anti-slavery treatise in 1789. Benjamin Franklin quote here, let's see. So, to succeed, jump as quickly at opportunities as you do at conclusions. I love that one. Given the modern PC woke and cancel culture movements, that we've experienced, I think that's a really good quote to put out there. So yeah, man, my man Benji been cooking since 1752. Let him cook. All right, coming in live with number 5. He ain't no jive, Alexander Hamilton. He was born January 11, 1755, though he started off life as an orphan. He would grow to be a prolific pamphleter who believed in the American Revolutionary cause. He served as an artillery officer in the American Revolutionary War and also served as an aide under George Washington with the rank of lieutenant colonel. On July 11th, 1804, in New Jersey, Alexander Hamilton would die in a duel with Aaron Burr, his longtime rival. The duel was over political and personal battles between the two. Hamilton's greatest achievements would be running the national bank, taxes, the first monetary system in the U.S., national debt, and customer service. Now, some would say prostitution is the oldest profession, but I think it's second to customer service. But hey, that's me. So, a quote from Alexander Hamilton: "Real firmness is good for anything. Strut is good for nothing." Basically, what this means: having principles is good for anything, and pride is good for nothing. I wish he would have taken his own advice. I mean, just given how he died, so yeah. Almost at the end of the list, it's number 6, John Jay. All right, John Jay was born in New York, December of 1745, into a wealthy family. Because of his affluent background, he was able to go to King's College, now known as Columbia University. After college, he found a career as a lawyer. And then during the American Revolution, he would act as one of the delegates for the First and Second Continental Congress. He was later given the position Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court by George Washington, and held this position from September 26, 1789 to 1795. Quote from John Jay: "The people's government, made for the people, made by the people, and answerable to the people." Great quote right there. All right, number 7, James Bosat Badass Madison, the only president to lead troops into battle while in office. All right, so I'm reading this from the jmu.edu. James Madison was born at Belgrove Plantation in Port Conway, Virginia on March 16, 1751. A diligent and dedicated public servant, among Madison's key achievements were supporting the Virginia Declaration of Rights and the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, helping to produce the Constitution of the United States of America, and authoring the Bill of Rights, collaborating with Alexander Hamilton and John Jay on the Federalist Papers. You can read some about that. I have a link in there in the description section about that. Leading the Democratic Republican Party, serving as Secretary of State, and becoming the 4th President of the United States. So James Madison quote, "The advancement and diffusion of knowledge is the only guardian of true liberty." So basically, knowledge is the protector of freedom. If we have a whole bunch of ignorant people out here, how are we going to protect our freedom? And to be honest with you, 2024, that's what our world is looking like. It looks like we have a lot of ignorant people that just need further education on what freedom and liberty actually means. All right, moving on here. So the list of the other notables we have, because that completes all 7 of them. There's 7 founding fathers, so the 7 major guys, top dogs right there. So the list of other notables: George Mason, Patrick Henry, John Hancock, John Marshall, and Samuel Adams are some of those, just to name a few. There were 56 in total that signed the Declaration of Independence and 39 signers of the United States Constitution. In addition to men, women also played important roles, such as Abigail Adams and Mercy Otis Warren. All right, word of the day. Word of the day. It is that time. Word of the day is liberty. Definition from Oxford reads as follows: the state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views. Again, the state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views. Now, I am a firm believer that less government involvement in our lives is always better. It's always the best route to go. The less we have them involved in our everyday lives, the better the country is going to be now and in the future. So now we have reached the Honorable Fathers section of the episode. We did the 7 founding fathers, so we can pretty much just skip over to my choice for Honorable Father of our modern times, which is, drumroll please, Denzel Washington. All right. Denzel Washington is known for his legendary acting skills in movies like Glory and Training Day. However, his biggest role has been being a father to his 4 successful children who followed him into the entertainment world. Reading from people.com, Denzel has said that he and his family lead normal lives outside of the spotlight, even crediting his kids for keeping him humble. He goes on to say, "I am who I am, a regular guy with a great job. How I'm analyzed belongs to someone else." He told Reader's Digest this in 2009. "In a few minutes, I've got a kids game to go to, and then I'm taking our daughter to auditions today. That's my job." That's my job. I love that. I love that a lot. So we are coming to the end of the show here, and it's been great diving into a little bit, a snap pretty much of the history of our country. And you know, it's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot more that I really wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to make the episode too long. You know, just enough to digest, and as the show progresses, we can get more into the history of our country as things go on. Because I think the history of our country has a lot to do with fatherhood. It has a lot to do with that, because a lot of great men back then, they had to fight hard to keep their country safe for their families. And, you know, they laid down their lives for us. So it's not a small thing. It's a big thing. And people should be very appreciative of all the different people from all kinds of different backgrounds who who fought for us and our freedom that we love today. All right, so we're coming to the end of the show here, and it's been great, like I said, diving into everything with you guys. The 7 founding fathers. Like, I love history. I really do love history. So, and this is the thing. Some people like to actually think that the American Revolution was the first world war, just because of how many of the big superpowers it actually, you actually had in play during that whole American Revolution. I mean, the French, Spanish, you got Britain. Like, it was a crazy time. So I'm wondering what you guys think, and just let me know in the comment section below if you think that was the real first world war that we had, or if there's one that you think is older than that and actually is the first world war. It's possible, but I think that because it encompasses the old world and the new world, and that's the first time that's really happened in such a large scale like that, where you had, both people from both sides of the world pretty much fighting for territory, fighting for land, fighting for the independence, and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm a firm believer that was the real first world war. But hey, again, let me know what you guys think. So, hey, big shout out to the founding fathers and all others who signed the Declaration of Independence. Have to give props where props are due, and they are due. We have a lot to be thankful for, living in a country where we have the right to speak our minds, a country where we have the ability to make something of ourselves, and raise a family despite our backgrounds and where our starting point was. That's what makes this country such a great country to live in, or to be born in. Times are tough. That's no joke, no lie. Things are not as easy. Things are really expensive nowadays, and we're all just trying to get by, right? But hey, USA is a nation filled with amazing people who do amazing things every day, and our freedom is God-given. No monarch, no man, nor government has the right to obstruct our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All right. So I had to end this one with another quote from a boy Benji, from Benjamin Franklin over here. This is what he says. So, dost thou love life? Then do not squander time, for that is the stuff life is made of. I love that. Don't waste your time out here, all right? Let's get to work. Let's get to business, okay? Hey, thank you so much. Muchas gracias for listening or watching. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and God bless America. USA, 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 America. And we out. Fatherhood. Let's go, baby.